Ladies and gentlemen, I've always opined on this platform that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence, and that everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objectives. Nothing in politics just happens for the sake of it. I've been observing something, and I'm coming to the conclusion that William Ruto is a man on a mission. William Ruto started by removing from office all allies of the former president Uhuru Kenyatta immediately he took over. Some of those guys were just working for the government. Then William Ruto went and removed Cleophas Malala as the UDA Secretary General. The latest victim is none other than the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. And the question then is, who is next? In my considered opinion, one man must be very, very careful. Ndindi Nyoro must be very careful. Because if he's not careful, then Ndindi Nyoro is going to become William Ruto's next victim. In this video, I want to explain to you guys why I strongly believe that Ndindi Nyoro is likely to be William Ruto's next victim. For those who've been following this channel, I've always opined that nothing happens out of mere coincidence. During the finance bill, Ndindi Nyoro never voted. He was absent from parliament. Why do you think Ndindi Nyoro was absent? At that time, most people thought that Ndindi Nyoro just feared losing the Gen Zs because he wants to become the next president, and he believes, and he's actually right, that the young generation are going to be the future voters. So he didn't want to cross their line. So Kenyans just assumed it was like that. Then, yesterday, but one, when Rigathi Gachagua was being impeached, Ndindi Nyoro was also missing in action. A day earlier, he was present in parliament. On the voting day, Ndindi Nyoro decided to be absent from parliament. And because in politics nothing happens out of mere coincidence, there is no way that Ndindi Nyoro can miss on critical days in parliament. On the finance day, on the finance bill day, William Ruto really needed Ndindi Nyoro. Ndindi Nyoro was missing. On the day of removing Rigathi Gachagua, Ndindi Nyoro was missing. Do you think William Ruto is happy with Ndindi Nyoro? Let me bring it to your notice that Ndindi Nyoro and William Ruto have also fallen out. And that fallout could be as a result of other factors. The reason we are seeing the Kikuyu member of parliament, Kimani Ichung'wah, being elevated is because of Ndindi Nyoro, who the president now believes is defiant. But I strongly believe that William Ruto is going to target Ndindi Nyoro. Before I explain to you guys those details, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. But again, before I dive in, allow me to take this opportunity to thank the following people. You are seeing their names on the screen there for the coffee they sent me earlier today. It goes a long way in supporting this channel. You can also do the same using the numbers you are seeing on your screen. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the reasons why I strongly believe Ndindi Nyoro is going to be the next victim of William Ruto and his mission. Number one, let us talk about Mount Kenya Kingpin, and how that Kingpin is going to make William Ruto deal ruthlessly with Ndindi Nyoro. For those who've been following this channel, I've always maintained that if there's one thing William Ruto can never allow to happen, it can happen there, but he cannot allow it to happen, is a Kingpin emerging from the mountain. One of the biggest mistakes Rigathi Gachagua committed was to try to take control of the mountain from William Ruto. Because William Ruto would want a situation where he has absolute control over the mountain, so that he can dictate what he wants. He can dictate who is elected, who is not elected. He can play around with those numbers. Rigathi Gachagua didn't want that. But how can this affect Ndindi Nyoro? Let me explain. With the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, now in the mountain, they had Rigathi Gachagua as the second in command. Now with his impeachment, who is now Mount Kenya Kingpin? You can argue that Professor Kithure Kindiki. But if you look at William Ruto's game plan, he has already decided that the mountain probably mattered for him, so he's trying to bank on Mount Kenya East. So in the absence of a serious, because of how Rigathi Gachagua was mistreated, the mountain is very angry. So which means they can decide to rally around Ndindi Nyoro, because they view Ndindi Nyoro as someone who did not betray them. I can assure you that someone like Kimani Ichung'wah will have a lot of problems, even for him to be re-elected. He might opt not to run, because the mountain is not very happy with him. And the moment the mountain might decide, okay, let us rally around Ndindi Nyoro, he's going to emerge as the Kingpin, and that's something William Ruto cannot allow to happen. So which means Ndindi is going to be dealt with ruthlessly. And if you want to understand that, just monitor how things are unfolding. Kindiki is now the deputy president. There's a strong feeling that Kimani Ichung'wah is going to be the interior, cabinet secretary for the interior. The only fear is a by-election. Then Ndindi Nyoro is supposed to be elevated to be the majority leader. But nobody is talking about Ndindi Nyoro because of probably that fallout. So it means William Ruto is going to deal with him perpendicularly. So that's number one. Number two, let us look at the 2027 politics and Mount Kenya. Who do you think Mount Kenya will vote for in 2027? Ruto or Kalonzo? There's a high chance that Rigathi will not be on the ballot because it's going to be bad for 10 years. Then who can take the mountain? So the question is Ruto or Mudavadi, or Kalonzo. So I think in his own wisdom, Ndindi Nyoro has figured out that Kenyans are very angry with William Ruto. Kalonzo cannot. So he's seeing an opportunity that if I package myself well, if I position myself well, then I can take this mountain. Then go outside there and campaign on a platform of development, on a platform of someone who cannot betray. Ruto is seeing all this and is monitoring Ndindi Nyoro. I want to tell you, Ndindi Nyoro is going to find it very, very rough, very, very difficult moving forward, because William Ruto is not like Uhuru Kenyatta. So that's number two. Ndindi Nyoro has seen opportunities in the mountain and is trying to grab them. And that is something Ruto will not allow, and therefore is going to become a target. Number three, let us look at Ndindi Nyoro and his political ambitions. At some point, Ndindi Nyoro traversed the entire country. Doing what? Positioning himself for 2027 presidential elections. Which means Ndindi Nyoro has political ambitions. Where can he achieve those ambitions? You want to tell me under Ruto? He cannot achieve them under William Ruto. Because in William Ruto's camp, he's already marked. In fact, the person who is going to be very powerful in William Ruto's government from the mountain is this gentleman called Kimani Ichung'wah. Because William Ruto always wants people who take risk, people who associate with him, people who own stuff. Kimani Ichung'wah was the face of the removal of Rigathi Gachagua. Ndindi was hiding. Yeah? So it's already marked. And he knows, Ndindi Nyoro knows that in William Ruto's camp, he's already marked. He's a marked man. And because he's a marked man, the truth is, Ruto is going to punish him for nursing presidential ambitions when he's still alive. Because William Ruto wants a situation where he's able to control his succession plan. So that's number 3. Number 4, let me ask you guys, do you know how rich Ndindi Nyoro is? Do you know the kind of wealth Ndindi Nyoro has accumulated? Ndindi Nyoro is one of the biggest shareholders of Kenya Power. Kenya Power is known because probably when they were sharing the shareholders, Ndindi Nyoro name had to be there because it's a major shareholder. So which means Ndindi Nyoro has the money, he has deep pockets. And with the deep pocket, it means he cannot just do things for William Ruto. He can question because he has the money. It also means that Ndindi Nyoro can actually fund a presidential campaign. Unlike Kalonzo, who is stuck. Kalonzo is not moving around because he doesn't have money. And because of those money, at some point, and I want us to remark this, he's going to be targeted, dragged court here, propaganda on the dead list there, just to scare him. But because he has money, he can really disrupt William Ruto. Now, let me ask the question. Do you think William Ruto can entertain that? In that case, Ruto will not entertain Ndindi Nyoro. Ndindi Nyoro will have to leave. And lastly, Ndindi Nyoro has also exhibited signs of defiance. His blood, the real Ndindi Nyoro, is now out. Ruto is seeing that the man I trusted can be bold, can be defiant. Ruto is not going to allow that. Ruto would not want to elevate someone. Ruto has a very weird character, unlike Raila and Uhuru. Uhuru will just laugh and things will be okay. You can insult Raila Odinga today, then in the evening you go and have tea. Not Ruto. Ruto is vengeful. Yeah? And because Ndindi Nyoro has exhibited signs of rebellion. So, ladies and gentlemen, just to make this video brief, Ndindi Nyoro has fallen out with William Ruto. And it's just a matter of time. And it's going to be forced out of William Ruto circles. Let me ask you the last question. If elections were to be held today in the Republic of Kenya, pitting William Ruto, maybe Rigathi and Ndindi, remove Rigathi, William Ruto, Kalonzo, and Ndindi Nyoro, who would you vote for as your preferred presidential candidate? Let me read the comments below in the comment section. Please, I want to know, if elections were to be held today, Ruto, Kalonzo, and Ndindi Nyoro, who is likely to win? Until that time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.